Greetings, everyone. This is Primo Lunozzi, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off day two of the August class for the 5-day Profitable Podcast Launch Challenge. I'm super excited. It's a class for the US, Canada, and Australia. So, super excited. More people may join later, so let's get going. Let me start sharing the screen here. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So today, before we start, today was going to be the first thing we're going to do is introduce the new people. So we only have one new person, as far as I can tell. And then we're going to jump into the Q&A from yesterday and then straight into today's content, which is going to be very powerful because today we're going to be doing something that's going to be the central point of everything we're going to be doing from now on, and that is your zone of genius. We're going to look at what is your zone of genius and help you identify yours because that's going to determine us in a very logical way what's your ideal listener's avatar and clients, and then what your podcast is going to be about. So, very important. So, before we start, Christina, give us say 1 minute, 30 seconds, 60-second intro about you. Where you come from? What do you do? And what are you looking to achieve to this week's 5-day challenge?
Okay, so my name's Tina Spolatini. I own a coaching business here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I just finished some training with Genius Unlocked, and so I'm trying to put that into my coaching business. My coaching business was like self-care, confidence. And I also host a podcast, and it's run through the Divas That Care Network, which is like a charity group. But I know that that's not the proper term to describe them, but that's kind of what they do. It's like, they want to promote women and bring women together and allow them to grow and thrive. And so my podcast is I talk to women who have sort of been through the shit of life. They got through it, and we talk about their journey. And we do that to allow other women to know that they're not alone, so that they can understand that they can do what other women have done and that there is support there for them.
Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah, thank you. And so my goal is, I guess with the challenge, I've been considering going out on my own. I don't know what that looks like. I have no idea what that looks like. I really enjoy the podcast, but I don't do all the work, right? I get the fun part, right? I get the part of, the connection part and the promoting part. Candice, my producer, does all the work. And so I don't know how much of a commitment it's going to take and how, I don't know anything to do it on my own. So I guess that's what I want to figure out, if it's really something that I can do or if it's something I should just maybe not think about.
Well, you're in the right place. And if I can make a confession, after almost 5 years and 400 episodes of my podcast, I exclusively focus on the good stuff, on the fun stuff, which is the conversations and the networking. I can count on two hands right now the number of times that I've done editing. I only do editing when the guest asks me to remove something. Other than that, I don't do any editing for two reasons. One, because I want to keep it as organic as possible. And two, because, hey, I live in paradise. I don't create extra work for myself. I want to enjoy life.
Right.
Let's be honest,
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so that is a possibility. I like that.
Big time. Listen, I've done it for five years, 400 episodes, and I don't do any editing.
Oh, wow. I love it. Hey, that's perfect. One tick towards that.
Awesome. So, and I love what you're doing. So because we have a small crew tonight and it's fun, I actually prefer that over the bigger crowds. Let's give each other 30 seconds to introduce yourself so we all know each other, especially Tina and all that, because Tina is doing something amazing. And you guys, one thing I also always want to encourage is for you guys to reach out with each other and see what kind of magic you guys can co-create together. So going from right to left this time, not left to right. I'm not going to pick up on you, Kim. Solomon, 30 seconds. Who's Solomon? Okay. What's your magic, brother?
Yes. I'm actually a master trainer and a certified health coach. So I help women change their mindset and also change their body by changing their unhealthy habits. And I can make sure that they do it because on my private app, I get to see the macros in real time, the calories, their steps, how many calories that they burn, and I can help them change their habits with my habit tracker and my meal tracker. So I help them transform their body from the inside and out. And I hold them accountable in real time. I've been a trainer for 12 years and I only train women.
Beautiful. And something else you're not mentioning, because I guess because you're humble, you're a former model. Hey,
Oh, yes.
hold
Yes.
it loud and proud, brother. That's part of who you
Oh,
are.
yeah. Yeah, I serve a former model, and I have a book for the women called The Anti-Inflammatory Fitness Bible for Women. So just yeah, there you go.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. Very welcome. Awesome. Camilo.
Wow. Where to pick up? You know, a lot of times I still wonder what the hell I'm going to do when I grow up. Honestly, I've done so much. And I've had a lot of fun along the way, and I've had to hold on to the steering wheel so tight along the way, and the cars, hit the dirt along the way. But in the end, I know in my heart I've helped a lot of people, a lot of communities, and I'm still moving. I'm not going to quit. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to go right to the very end with whatever feeds my passion. And right now, I create the most amazing soap bars. This is what I'm being told. I've got some fantastic stories around that, and I can't wait to see what this all looks like starting next week after I've gotten this training. So thank you, Payman. I really appreciate you.
Pleasure's all mine. I absolutely love what you're doing. Can't wait to find out more about you and help you bring your gifts to your Camilos. So awesome. Thank you. Last but definitely not least, Kim.
Where do I start? So my main journey has been in the wellness industry. So I opened my first health food store in 1993 with my ex-husband, and we franchised that store. So I had, at one point in time, I had 6 stores. I had a store in London, Windsor, Sarnia, Burlington, and Mississauga. I think that was that 6. But anyway, and I did the marketing, store setup and everything in that role of my life. And then just owned health food stores ever since. I started a radio show on mainstream radio, 2 different stations in 2005. My current husband Greg, and I started it, and then I maintained it and did it for 17 years. So when you talk about, like, do you have to do any editing? I did live radio for 17 years. There was no editing, and people want it real, right? Like they appreciate that. Like, sure, we had little goof ups or whatever, but we just smoothed it over. So don't worry about the editing thing. I don't believe in editing. But it was great. And I only canceled it in 2022 when they started to a lot of censorship was happening. You couldn't say the word flu, all kinds of things. And when you're talking about wellness, that's what we did, right? So, but what I did was I interviewed wellness experts. So I had people from all over the world that would call in, and I would interview them about their research or their book or a product or whatever it was. And eventually, most of that 17 years, I was on two different competing radio stations, actually. But so I did that, and it was a lot of fun. I love it. I loved it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Christina, were you able to watch the replay of day 1?
I haven't had a chance yet, but I will tonight before I go to bed.
Awesome. 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 Because I talk about my background and also how podcasting only changed and transformed, but in a few ways, it literally saved my life. And also I go about why podcasting is so powerful. So one thing that I really was important is everything builds from the previous day. So I recommend not to miss any day, because every day builds from the previous day. It's like building a house. So day 1 is all about why podcasting is so powerful, not just for your business, but also for you. And today we're going to take it to the next level. Okay? So,
okay. Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank
you. Guys, any questions about yesterday, about day 1? Camilo, Solomon, Kim?
No, I didn't have any.
Do you guys do your daily action steps, the questions I asked you at the end of the day?
I was a bad student. I did not.
Those questions are mostly for you, not for me,
Yeah.
because they will help you further really go deep to finding your purpose, your zone of genius. And feel free to share whatever you want to share in the WhatsApp group. So we created a WhatsApp group, Tina. After this call, please send me your WhatsApp number and I'll add you in the WhatsApp group because I find WhatsApp much more user friendly and easier to navigate than Messenger. Awesome, cool. Okay, so if you have no questions, let's move on. All right, so who here wants to get leads on demand and high-ticket clients and make money with your very own profitable podcast and YouTube channel? Raise your hand. You don't want that, Tina? If I could, I would raise my feet if it was safe. Actually, on the previous challenge in June, we had a lady from Edmonton, actually, Anne, and she was literally raising her feet. So at the end of by then, I started calling her Happy Feet. Amazing lady. Anyways, all right, cool. So I showed you guys this. Let me see. Someone wants to join the class. Christian. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Christian. I'll do after this call. So I shared this graph with you guys yesterday. How podcasting is absolutely booming and only taking off. This year alone, almost $50 billion are going to be done through podcasting, and that figure is only in the US. So if you had Canada, Australia, UK, Europe, and the rest of the world, you can easily 5, if not 10x this figure. And by 2029, which is not that far from now, it's only what, 3.5 years from now, it's going to increase by another almost 100 billion. So the question is what me and you guys can do to get our fair share of this humongous pie. Because again, podcasting is replacing literally radio, just like YouTube has been replacing TV. So now, what do you guys think that represents? That figure, that massive figure, $1 billion a day. That's the amount of money people spend on a very specific thing. What do you guys think that is?
On
That's big.
memberships,
Sorry?
like memberships or like paying for coaching or something or education.
You're onto something, Kim. Yes. That's basically the amount of money people around you are quietly every day investing in themselves and solving one very specific pain point they have by hiring coaches, joining masterminds, classes, mentoring, and so on and so forth. And you know what's the crazy part is, guys? This figure is from a year ago. Because we all know that not only the coaching industry, but also self-learning, the e-learning industry has been absolutely exploding. So by now, it's not far-fetched just to say that this figure is probably 50%, if not 100% more.
Yeah.
So even if it were still at the same rate, just $1 billion, which is impossible, all it would take for you guys is just to get a tiny 0.1% of that. Even $1,000 a day. Do you think that's going to help you in your business and your life?
Yeah.
Even
Absolutely.
even 500 a day. That's 15,000. Or heck, even $100. That's $3,000. That pays your mortgage.
Yeah.
For most people. For me, living in Asia, it allows me to live like a king. Because for $1,500, I can rent a villa with a private pool. And Bali. Or in Vietnam. So again, now the question is, as I asked you earlier, what can me and you do to get our share of this humongous and delicious pie? Now that's a question we're gonna answer today. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So again, as I said, I already went through that. So again, it's very simple. To answer this question, how can you and me get our share of this pie? We need to answer this very next question. What very specific pain point, one specific pain point, can you solve, and for who specifically? I want you guys to memorize this, copy it, paste it, put it everywhere on your home screen, print it everywhere. That's a question we all have to answer. What is the one very specific pain point that you can solve, and for who? We're not trying to make people happy, people wealthy. No, that's very vague. Instead, one very specific pain point, one very specific person, because as you will keep hearing me over and over and again over the next few days, clarity is everything. The name of the game is clarity. The more specific you are, the more magnetic your message will be. And as a result, the more compelling your offer will be and more profitable your business will be. As simple as that. There's no ways around that. Because the number one reason why most coaches fail to get any traction online or offline is specifically because they lack clarity. You want to succeed? You must have clarity. That's very important, guys. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So again, what we're going to be doing here is we need to address these 4 key questions. Number 1, what's your core primary expertise and skill set? In other words, what's your zone of genius? And we're going to dive in deeper into that in a moment. And then, as you will see, everything builds from the previous step. Once you've identified what is your primary core expertise and skill set, what's your zone of genius, then that will tell you in a very specific way, clear way, what's the main pain point that you're solving and for who? Through your offer, your program, your podcast, YouTube channel, everything you do. And then that's going to tell you what's the dream outcome, the desired outcome for your client. And the last piece of the puzzle is, how do you find them? And how do you get to message them again? What's the number one pain point you're solving? For who? What's the dream outcome? And then the last piece is, where is that person hanging out? And simply putting yourself in front of them. That's a 4-step process I'm using and I've been using very successfully for my business and my students, my clients' business. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you guys think is the number one reason why most coaches and entrepreneurs online and offline struggle and fail to get any traction? Let's see who's been listening.
Clarity.
Huh?
Lack of clarity. Lack of
Yes.
clarity.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's because, there you go, because they want to help everyone. How many of you guys have seen or heard offers from other coaches that say, I help people be happy, I help people find their grooves or their vibes or feel good or become financially free? How many of you have heard those very beautiful but very vague offers?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. And why do you think that those offers don't get any traction?
Because they're talking to everybody and they're not talking to their avatar.
Yes. Because again, clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be. The more magnetic your message is, the more compelling your offer will be. And as a result, the more valuable, the more profitable your business will be. Simple as that. Because again, clarity is the name of the game. As simple as that. What does that mean? What that means is that we must, this is one of the things you will have identified not only by the end of today, but by the end of this week. One very specific pain point for one very specific person. That's it. If there's one thing I want you guys to remember from this week is this, among many other things I will share with you. Number 1 is we need to identify one very specific pain point that you can solve for one very specific person. Simple as that. If you can do that, you will be ahead of the game, ahead of most people out there. Again, as I mentioned before, the more clarity you have in your messaging and offer, the more your message will be magnetic, resulting in your offer being more compelling and your program being transformational. And as a result, your business will be profitable. Very simple. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, how do we achieve that? We achieve that by simply identifying your zone of genius and your true gifts. So when I say the words zone of genius, what comes to your mind? How do you define zone of genius? What's zone of genius for you guys? One sentence.
Living out your purpose.
Yes. Solomon?
Yes, I would say something that you mastered, and then it comes easy. I'll say it comes easy to you, but it's something that you master, that you actually enjoy learning and doing.
Absolutely. Camilo?
Something that you've mastered and you I like giving stuff away. So
Ah.
being a master of education, showing people, that's it. Just
That I love that. I love that.
replicating yourself through other people.
Yes, yes, beautiful. What about you, Kim?
That's what mindset.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Kim.
Well, I'm a Bob Proctor fan, but he talks about your burning desire, like
Yes.
like that burning mission or desire that you have.
Love that. Now, what do you guys think I mean when I talk about your gifts? How do you find that?
That's an awesome question.
Thank you. So when I say your gifts, what does that mean to you?
Experience.
Something that comes easily. Oops, sorry.
Yes. Yes. Did you say something, Kim?
Something that comes easily to you that you feel good doing and you do it well.
Yes. Yes. Solomon?
Yes, I would say that something. Yes, something that you do very well, and then you're also willing to put in extra effort to be exceptional.
I love that. Love that. What about you, Christina?
Well, I think when you're living out your purpose, it comes naturally.
Yes, beautiful. So and they're all wonderful answers. My definition of gifts, your gifts, our gifts, are simply this. We all go through our fair share of pain, trauma, abuse, tragedy, disease, betrayal, heartbreak, struggle, and all those things in life. Sure, it hurts a lot when you go to them, but then they become your story. Then your story becomes your gifts. And ultimately, your gifts become your duty and responsibility because we all understand that life is a school. Nothing happens to you but for you. Even the most painful, the most heartbreaking experience you have to go through, if you look at it from the perspective of what is this trying to teach you, what is a lesson for you to learn to that, you will see that this was a powerful, beautiful, transformational gift for you. This is what I mean. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Now let's take a look at Zone of Genius, and there's 5 or 6 ways, and I will share those with you guys today as to how we can identify our zone of genius. The first one, the very obvious one, is to simply look at your professional background. Let's say you spend 10, 15, 20 years in any industry, any niche. That's the first place to start because you have mastery. You understand the day-to-day realities of that job. You speak the language. So that's the first place to start. If you have any experience in any field, that's an obvious choice for you to start. The second way to identify your zone of genius is if you have acquired in the process in your path so far any high income skills. What is high income skill? High income skill is anything that someone is paying you a lot of money to do or can pay you a lot of money. For example, negotiating, selling, copywriting, coding, things like that. Or anything that you have to get a certificate or get extra training for that your industry, your career required you to go through, or even yourself in your business, anything that you have to learn on your own to make yourself more valuable. So that's a high income skill. The next one is if you've been born with any natural God-given innate talent. Some people are amazing with singing, dancing, sports, music, memory, words, speaking, writing, numbers. So if you have any such natural God-given talent, that's a beautiful thing. If you've learned anything, let's say you've become in the process an amazing guitar player, a piano player. Are you amazing at sports, tennis, basketball, football, whatever? You can build a very successful business teaching others how to improve their game, learn whatever, drawing, painting, whatever. For example, as a personal trainer, that's exactly what you do. People pay you to help them get in shape. That's what it is. Another one is, that's probably the most common one, the most popular one is, look at your life and look at any major challenges that you may have overcome yourself. Basically, your hero's journey, any crap, anything that you have overcome yourself. So if you look at those 4 main ways to identify your zone of genius, which one would you say is the one that applies the most to you? Let's start with Christina.
Honestly, I don't know that I have any of those.
Okay.
I mean, well, okay, when I say none, major challenges, I went through depression and I took antidepressants and I got myself off of them. I mean, that's as major as it gets for me.
That's an incredible, that's a very transformational gift that you have, because again, one thing that I will say later on, when someone is looking to hire a coach and spend a lot of money on, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. What they're looking for is someone who's just a few steps ahead of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of them. But most importantly, someone that they can relate with, identify with, resonate with, and someone that is accessible and reachable. Ultimately, they want someone that has successfully overcome what they're currently going through. They're looking essentially for a big brother, big sister to say, hey, hold my hand, I've been in your shoes, and together we're going to get you out of it. That's what people want. So you having gotten yourself out of depression, that's an amazing, amazing gift. By you sharing how you overcame your depression with other women, for example, that can be a beautiful, very impactful, and very profitable business. Because again, the best business to build is you simply sharing your story of how you made it, how you overcame whatever crap that you had to go through. Because all you have to do is just share your story, speaking from the heart. So don't sleep on that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, Solomon, what about you, brother?
Okay, so yeah, actually, I would say that I've been through pretty much everything on there. I would say that my experience and also the challenges with having my business and just having this avatar client. So yeah, just I've been a coach for 12 years, but the main thing that I keep seeing, which I'll make it quick though, I'll think about what we said yesterday is what I do being a coach. I'm even gonna start off with training, but and about weight loss, make it seem like it's surface level. I realize that I do more of helping a person from the inside and out and regarding their habits. Like a perfect example, today, this one lady, she went and called me up. She's been in my CRM for years, and she called me. And she actually texted me, and I called her, and she told me that she actually had a stroke recently. She had a stroke, and she was getting out of the hospital. And she was saying that she was saying that she want to call me in about a week or so when she feel better. And then and I was telling her like, okay, so you had a stroke because you had high blood pressure. I said, okay, by you being 5'2" and 140 pounds, so that stroke happened because you have a lot of unhealthy habits. And then number one, I think, you're still overweight. Even if you lost 10, 15 pounds, that can be just enough to get your blood pressure down. But you have a lot of unhealthy habits. And then and she was like, well, okay, I'll fill out the application later on. And I texted her, I had to kind of tell her something kind of, true, but kind of harsh, but it happened to come up with the theme of our podcast. It's going to be called Just a Little Sugar. So it's going to be about how I help women, transform their body while telling them the truth to get results.
I like that. I like that. Thank you for sharing
Yes.
that. That's a beautiful real life example. Thank you.
Oh, one more thing I want to say though. So basically, I sent her a text message just doing that though. So I told her a harsh truth. I put a little sugar on. I told her, okay, so by you getting out of the hospital, you're lucky to be alive. So you have to operate with a sense of urgency because your habits that you have, is the reason why you was in the hospital. So okay, I get that you want to keep having your size, having a nice big butt, but you have high blood pressure because you have unhealthy habits and you still weigh too much for your height. So, so I definitely suggest you fill out the application right now and then I will review it. You don't even have to start my program right now, but you need a sense of urgency because you're lucky to be here. So I had to kind of say that harsh truth because, you just got out of the hospital. So you really need to make a change with your habits right now and your whole mindset.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Camilo, what about you? Which one of these four applies the most to you?
Wow. The first one is appealing. I've been able to balance my professional experiences with my community service experience. So I've gone from in my coaching business, in my manufacturing management consulting business, as someone that charges a lot of money, and I go to work as a volunteer and not get paid any money. So I can do both. I don't need money is not a motivator for me. It's the mission. The mission has always been important to me. So high income skill, yeah, my consulting, I have a billable rate that's very high. I don't want to mention it, but people have to pay for that, okay? Because I've earned that. I've earned the right to charge that amount because I've gained a lot of knowledge to share.
So
The special talents, major challenges. Yeah, you know what? I'm a cancer survivor.
that's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, on top of everything else that everybody frickin' threw at me, I got a dose of cancer and I beat that too, and I'm still beating it, and I feel frickin' good about that because it requires a certain mindset to become very resolved to things.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very resolved. I'm resolved for death. I'm resolved for people dying around me. I'm resolved that somebody's journey might end. And what am I here for? What's my purpose? To contribute at a very high level to change people's lives, and
Absolutely.
and hopefully they'll get on the path.
Absolutely. And if I may ask, what type of cancer did you beat?
I had a very complicated prostate cancer. They removed it. It was scheduled for a 3.5-hour operation, and it wound up 9.5 hours. So it was very complicated. They found all kinds of other stuff, and I'm here today on top, telling my story, letting people know where I've been. There was a point in my life where I was standing at the end of my driveway. I lived in LaSalle, beautiful, sprawling ranch, swimming pool, every goddamn thing you can imagine. And there I was, and I cried like a baby. I reached into my pocket, and I pulled out a nickel. I pulled out a nickel. Do you know why? Because that's all I had left.
Wow.
That's all I had left. But it didn't stop me, and I'm telling you, they whipped me, they threw stones at me. Everybody just was. I've been through a lot, and when I pulled that nickel out, that was a really good reminder that hey, I still got something. I still got something, and I'm going to make that grow, and I did, and I'm in a better place because of my mindset.
Absolutely. And now you have something that's absolutely invaluable. Nobody can take in prices. Nobody can take away from you. And that's your story, your gift, and you being a beacon of light for someone that's currently going through what you went through. So that can be a very beautiful, very impactful, transformational, and very, very profitable business for you. Helping other men with prostate cancer, beat the crap of that, for example, So that can be a beautiful business for you. Awesome. Thank you. Kim.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What about you, Kim?
If I could figure out a way to monetize doing the same thing I did on my radio show, because I love that. But it isn't a niche because I interviewed people about all sorts of different things. And so I struggle with the whole like figuring out your niche and all of that when what I did, like I just want to monetize what I did. Like the radio show is my best.
What were you selling? What do you want to sell?
Well, that was the thing. So we had a health food store. So all of the suppliers would pay for the airtime. So I wasn't making money, but they were paying for the airtime. And then we would sell the product that they talked about. So, but it wasn't any one theme, right? Like there wasn't just heart disease, cancer. It was like everything.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So when you say the avatar thing, that's what gets my mind all like, I don't know how to. I used to do lectures about a lot of things, like
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's where I get all fuzzy on that.
We'll cover that in a moment. So you're in the right place. So thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Now, these are the 4 main ways to identify your zone of genius. I want you to later tonight when I share the slides and the replay, go through it tomorrow and really brainstorm with yourself. But there's other ways that you can also identify your zone of genius. The next one is if there's any topic, anything that you know in your circle as the go-to person, or anything that you love geeking about, For example, when I was younger, when I was in university, I was known as Mr. Brazil because I was obsessed with Brazil. Anyone that had any question would come to me. And of course, nowadays I can't really monetize that because with ChatGPT, YouTube, and all that, and also because I'm in a different place now as a person. So, but again, just as an example, is there anything that you're really known for in your circle as the go-to person? What is one thing that you really love geeking about? So these are amazing ways also to help you identify your zone of genius. So tonight, tomorrow, take a piece of paper and write down, and this is for yourself, guys. Write down anything that comes to mind as to what is one thing or two things that you're really known for in your circle as the go-to person, and one thing that you absolutely love geeking about. These will help you ultimately identify your zone of genius. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. There's also another way. Wait, let me see. Where is it? Yeah, another way also is imagine that I'm hosting a conference and you're hosting a conference. One of your speakers bails on you at the last minute. And I were to call you frantically as saying, hey, Tina, Solomon, Cam, Kim, I need you to do me a massive favor. I want you to come and do a talk for 60 minutes on a topic with no preparation. Basically, what can you do? A TED Talk, well, more than TED Talk, because TED Talk is 15 minutes, let's say 30-minute, 60-minute talk with absolutely no time to prepare, no slides. What is that topic? If you can do that, then that's an amazing way to identify your zone of genius. Does that make sense? So in one word or two words, what is one topic that you can do a talk for 30 to 60 minutes with no preparation? Kim,
Oh, sorry.
Kim, go ahead.
Did you say me?
Yes, Kim.
Oh my God. Anything. I can talk about anything. That's the problem. Marketing. I love spirituality and herbs and endometriosis and heart disease and cancer. I've done them all.
But what is one thing
That's
that
my problem.
you can talk in a way that is going to be wowing your audience, that you can really go deep, not wide, but really deep with no preparation. So what I mean, for example, for me, it can be about either living abroad as an expat or how to leverage podcasting for business. These are things I can talk, and I've done talks on that around the world. So this is one way also I want you guys to really brainstorm on that and put it down on paper, because these are amazing ways to help you find your true gift, your true zone of genius. So we'll come back to you, Kim. What about you, Cam?
Also, Lorenzo,
Right.
can I add to that?
Please.
Yes, sure. And also, the other thing that I was thinking is similar to what you're saying, but it also does help to give a person a major advantage. It's good for a person to know and find out what's their competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
So yeah, because with mine, I have a few different ones. One of them that I have is like I also sell bands. So I have bands that helps my clients be able to tone their body anywhere, and also my fitness app is also the other one that I have, and also my training system that I actually have. So I actually have a few different ones, which make a difference why somebody will come to me versus going to just anybody who say that they're just a trainer.
Yeah. So I get it. We all have multi-talented, all multi-talented. So what is the number one talent that you have, the one topic that you can really talk in a way that's going to wow your audience for 60 minutes with no preparation? So that's what I'm getting at too. So even though you may have multiple interests and multiple areas that you're really an expert, but what is one thing that you really excel? This is what we're really trying to get to. Camilo.
My ability to communicate with CEOs, vice presidents, people on the line, the shop floor, top to bottom. It doesn't matter who my audience is. I don't look at a CEO as, whoa, the guy's making $1 million. I've made $1 million. Who cares? It's not all about the money. It's about sharing information to work. And my number one thing probably would be in manufacturing. There's whiteboards everywhere, and they're called quality boards, right? So I'm going to tell everybody what I did. I started the whiteboard system at Chrysler's in 1984.
Wow.
Okay. So and I can talk about whiteboards and what should be on there, what shouldn't be on there. I can train people to simultaneously in an entire plant, okay, an entire plant to be on point with the message first thing in the first 5 minutes, and that will make everybody comfortable about what to expect in that day. And these are line leaders, okay, hourly people that can deliver messages based on the information that's on the whiteboard. That's what I'm really freaking good at.
Fascinating, man. I love that. Love that. Awesome.
Okay. Actually, I have mine. Can I say?
Please, go
Yes,
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say mine. If I wanted to say one thing, it kind of go with everything. But I would say making somebody a personalized program. Can I say that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's your zone of genius, so you can say whatever's your zone of genius. You know?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Tina.
So I was going to say, or I did say motherhood, because I know I can talk about, you know, the joys and the not so joys of being a parent, right? And you know what children bring through our world, right? But that's not what I want to talk about. Right. I mean, any mother can talk for an hour about what it was like to be a mother, right?
What I'm talking about is what is one thing you can talk about that you can also so you can wow your audience so that they can hire you and pay you for your services. Maybe I mentioned that. Yeah.
Right. So now my next thing would be probably mindset, right? And how, like, I mean, right away, the first thing that came to my mind is, you know, how you have to be able to change your mindset as you go through life, right?
Yeah.
Because the world is ever changing.
Absolutely.
And if we don't change our mindset, if we're not open to change, we miss out.
Totally. Absolutely. Yes. As everyone shared theirs. All right, let's move on then. Thank you. So again, here's my personal 4-step approach to building a profitable, not just podcast, but profitable business. Number 1, identify what is your zone of genius and your gifts. Once you've done that, that's going to tell you exactly what is the number 1 pain point you're addressing and solving, for who, what's your avatar, and then last, where is that person hanging out? So it's all about clarity, 4 levels of clarity. Clarity as to what is your zone of genius, what is the number 1 pain point you're solving, for who, and where is that person hanging out? And simply putting it together, putting yourself out there. And that's something we're going to unpack today and the rest of the week. Does it make sense to you guys, this 4-step approach, guys? This is very important, very powerful. And Tina, you will have access to the slides. So I will, after this call, I will have the slides for you guys.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't waste time just taking notes, because I know it can be time consuming.
Yeah, okay, that's good. All
right, cool. Now, here's one of my favorite sayings. I'm probably going to put that on a t-shirt sometime in the near future. And that is, your crap is your gold. Or in a more PC way, more vanilla way, your mess is your message. I like to be authentic. So I say your crap is your gold, literally. Because again, if you were to look at your life, all of us have gone through some very, very, very painful, heartbreaking challenges. But guess what? The more painful the challenge you have to overcome, that you have to go through, the more transformation is going to be. And the more transformation it is, the more profitable it's going to be. Because ultimately, people will pay you the big bucks for 2 things. 1, transformation, not information. And 2, speed. If you can collapse the time. Let's say you have, for example, me, my Profitable Podcast Academy is 3 weeks. I can easily turn that into a 4-year undergraduate program. Now, do I have 4 years? Do you guys have 4 years to go to that? Absolutely not. That's why I collapsed it to 3 weeks. So if you can take whatever transformational information you have and deliver the desired outcome to your prospect as fast as possible, and it's transformational, then there's no limit to how much you can charge. My coach is an incredible sales coach. He's a former pastor. I paid him $10,000 2 years ago. The same program now is $25,000, and that's US dollars. He has a one-on-one VIP for 3 months, one call a week, $75,000. He has a waiting list. He doesn't advertise it. Because again, because of the result and transformation, it helps people become a better closer without being salesy or sleazy. So again, your crap is your gold. Do not sleep on anything. Like, for example, Tina, you mentioned earlier that you overcame depression. That's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic gift. For you, Camilo, you're a cancer survivor. That's an incredible gift for other men. Because again, always remember, guys, when someone is looking for a coach, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. They're looking for someone that's just a few steps ahead of them, someone they can relate with, identify with, resonate with, someone that has successfully overcome what they're currently going through. That's the bottom line. And that's what I mean. Your crap is your gold. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
totally.
Awesome. Now let's talk about Avatar. You know, one thing that I could never resonate with and relate with was when they told us that, hey, you need to create a fictional character from scratch, even give him or her a name, a picture from Google and all that. Because I could never relate with, for example, me, for example, Mike from finance making $95,000 a year, driving a I don't know, BMW, and having a midlife crisis and a gym pack and having a golden retriever, or Mary from HR, making 85,000 a year, driving a I don't know, a Lexus, and every morning at 7:23 a.m. drinking a matcha latte and owning 2 cats. I could never relate that because that's not me, and it's probably not you. Instead, your avatar, what I learned myself is that your avatar is someone that resembles you as much as possible, someone that can relate with you, identify with you, see themselves in you. But ultimately, one of the greatest breakthroughs I've had myself was to realize that your avatar is no one else but yourself just a few steps ago. The most powerful lesson I can share with you guys from my own experiences: if you were to build your business, your offer, your podcast, whatever you do, the way you wished existed, when you were at the lowest point, when you're just starting, you're golden. Because again, you are your own avatar. Your message, your gift are not for the world as much as we would love to. For example, for you, Tina, your message, your goal is to find your Tinas. You, Solomon, your job is to find your Solomons. Camilo, your job is to find your Camilos. Kim, your job is to find your Camilos. Me, my job is to find my payments. Meaning the version of you just a few steps ago, no matter how long it may have been, 3 years, 3 months, or even 10 years ago. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
This is the most powerful and important message, the most important breakthrough I've had to realize myself. Your avatar is no one else but yourself. Just a few steps ago. I was listening to a YouTube a couple of months ago while having lunch, and one guy, very successful guy, he was asked, he lives in Dubai, he makes like 25 million a year, and he was asked, so why did you build this very successful, very expensive private mentorship? He said, I built it for myself because I wanted to hang out with cool people. And once he said that, I literally jumped out of my chair because it's exactly what I've been trying to say. Build your business, build your offer, build your podcast, build everything you do for yourself, the way you wish to exist. And that's not being selfish. That's being very altruistic, because your goal is to help not the world, but your people, your Kims, your Camilos, your Solomons, your Tinas, and my payments. That's the most important lesson I had to learn myself. And for you guys, I really emphasize this is going to be one of the biggest breakthroughs that you will have, because every person that I've had on the Challenge Inside Academy, I've been telling me that this has been the greatest breakthroughs, the greatest game changer for them in their business. So you're going to stop spinning your wheels trying to create a fictional character, because again, your avatar is not a fictional character. Your avatar is the version of you of just a few steps ago, no matter how long ago it was. Because again, your job is to help that person, because all you will be doing is simply sharing your story, how you overcame what they're currently going through. This is very, 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 very important. Does it make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Camilo? Awesome. Cool. So again,
Yes, sir.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So again, now, if we're to put all of that together, number one, what's your zone of genius? I gave you a set of questions to look at yourself later today. I really want you to do that seriously. Take a piece of paper tonight, tomorrow, and look through the different ways. These 4 ways plus the what do you love geeking about and what can you do a TED Talk about with no preparation and a really deep way so that's going to wow your audience. Because all of that is going to point you and lead you towards identifying your zone of genius. Once you have your zone of genius, where is it? Once you have your zone of genius, then that's going to show us in a very clear way and logical way what's the one specific pain point you can solve and for who. And the next logical step is where is that person hanging out? And simply putting yourself in front of that person. That's it. So now I just went through that. The more specific you are, the more magnetic your message will be. The more magnetic your message will be, the more compelling your offer will be. And as a result, the more transformational and more profitable your business will be. As simple as that. Because again, clarity, clarity, clarity. Clarity is the name of the game. Now, clear as mud?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, cool. Now, let's brainstorm as to what your podcast is going to be about. That's going to be part of your action step for today. So, number 1, your zone of genius. Number 2, one specific pain point. And for who? And again, the more specific, the more compelling, magnetic, and profitable is going to be. Simple as that. Here's some powerful. Any questions so far before I move on anything I've covered so far? Yes, no, maybe?
Not for me.
As my good friend Phil the pastor would say, speak now, hold your peace forever. All right. Awesome. Some powerful reminders. I know you guys already know all of these. Do not sell your time or your knowledge, because always selling how much you can charge for your time and for knowledge. Nowadays, knowledge information can be obtained for free with Google, YouTube, and ChatGPT. Instead, offer transformation. Transformation. Your business must not be transactional. It must be instead transformational. The more transformational it is, and the more you can help the person achieve the desired outcome, the dream outcome faster, that they can do it themselves, that's when you can literally print your own checks. So very important. As I mentioned on day 1, business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people we like, relate, and trust. And even more so, if you're selling iTicket, anything over $1,000 or more, it's about one thing and one thing only: trust. Now, how do you build that trust? By building rapport. How do you build rapport? By having heart-to-heart conversation. And what's the best way to do so? On a podcast. As I mentioned before, when someone is looking to invest a bunch of money in a coach, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. Instead, they want to work with someone that's just a few steps out of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Someone they can relate with, identify with, resonate with. Essentially, someone that has successfully overcome what they're currently going through. And someone is accessible, reachable, and relatable. So, any questions on those?
No.
Pretty straightforward. All right. Also, here's a couple of more important reminders. One of my favorite saying is, never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. Let me repeat that. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. This is not just for business, even for your personal life, your family, your kids, your neighbors, whatever. Instead of asking, invite and see the difference. You will be the one being chased as opposed to chasing them. You were nodding your head, Camilo. Can you relate to that?
Yes. My favorite question is, prove me wrong.
I like that.
Yeah, so I do a lot of inviting, by way of prove me wrong.
Mm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as I said, to recap again, number one, we need to identify your true gift in your zone of genius. That's going to tell you in a very logical way what's the pain point you can solve for who, where they hang out, and you simply invite them onto your podcast. We don't do cold DMs, cold pitching. No, we simply invite. And this exact method that allowed me to get over, by now it's over 150 clients with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. So, any questions so far? We just completed today's just an hour. Any questions about anything I covered so far?
No, this was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing students.
It was really, really good.
I like to hear that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Just
My hat's off to you, Payman. Great session today. Thank you.
very welcome. Very welcome. Very welcome. Solomon, what happened to you? Did you get kidnapped by aliens? Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. Yeah, I can hear a bit very low. It's very low. Volume is very low. Still very low. But anyways, we're done for today. I was just wrapping up. I was just asking, do you guys have any question about anything I covered so far today?
No, actually, it was great. It was really great. Actually, they had me come up with my own thing.
Can't really understand you, brother. It's too low. All right, no worries, no worries. Any questions, comments, compliments, especially about my shiny hair?
It was a really good session. I still need you to pick my brain. I got to figure this all out, Payman.
We'll do that for the rest of the week, and we'll do it also one-on-one later this week or next week. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, here's a sneak peek about tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be even more powerful because tomorrow we're going to be taking the findings from today, and we're going to be identifying, once we identify what is your true zone of genius, what's the number one pain point you can solve and for who. And I'm going to be introducing a very powerful principle that completely changed my business, and that is having a quantifiable, measurable end result to your offer and your business. Your business, your offer is not a business unless it has a quantifiable, measurable end result. I'm going to introduce that tomorrow. And then with all of that, that's going to allow us to literally craft your irresistible Godfather high ticket offer. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And so please do the daily action steps. Go back a few slides. Where was it? This one, identifying your zone of genius. Which one applies to you? What is one thing that you're known for and you love geeking about? What is one topic that you can do a 30-minute, very deep, wow-worthy talk with no preparation? Because all of these gonna take you down the path to identifying your true gifts, your zone of genius, and don't sleep on anything. So do those, share them, write as much as you can for yourself, and feel free to share whatever you want to share, 1 or 2 sentences on the WhatsApp group. I got your WhatsApp number, Tina. I'll add you in the group. On the WhatsApp group, I'll be posting the replays of today and previous days, as well as the link for the calls for each day. So keep an eye on the WhatsApp group, and also to ask any questions. And yeah, I'm going to be there as well on the WhatsApp group to help you guys. So if you have no more questions, let's call it a night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll share the link with you guys. Any last minute questions, comments, compliments?
It was really, really, really good. Good.
I'd like to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Lorenzo. Great job.
Pleasure on mine. I appreciate that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Good
Thank
night.
you, everybody.
You too. See you later.
See you. Bye.
Payman, are these slides? Are you supplying these slides so I can make notes? Or
Absolutely. You can print them. I will share them with you inside the WhatsApp group. Yes.
oh, thank you. Appreciate that because I like to make notes and save them and refer.